Suhas, welcome.
Thank
I'm very happy you found time to have a small conversation with me. Before we start, could you introduce yourself and your company to our audience?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Suhas Patel. I'm a founder and CEO at TVARIT GmbH. We are a Frankfurt-based company. We provide smart, industry-specific digital assistant to the shop floor engineer, and they are targeting very specifically to reduce the waste in terms of energy waste, in terms of rejection for the shop floor engineer. We have 56 people in our team. We have a headquarter in Frankfurt and the other office we have in India.
What I have learned so far from my different conversations is that the way how you use data and what you can actually make of the data is becoming a key differentiator.
Exactly.
So, and you know, everyone has data in their factories, but many companies, they don't know how to use it. So what would you say, what are the key things to consider when you want to make use of data in the factory?
So basically, we have seen the digitalization of the factory in a different stage, which is depending on customer to customer. There are customers who are data aware. There are customers who are not only aware, but data ready. There are customers who understand what they want to do with the data. We call them AI ready customers. Now, the important part for every customer is from data aware to AI ready. Why they are collecting data? They are collecting data to receive prescriptions in order to optimize their processes into manufacturing. And that can be, there is a huge potential which can be harvested using data, using artificial intelligence. That customer has to start a journey. That's what we provide. We at TVARIT, what we do is when we start a project, there are the different customer journey which we start. For example, data awareness. We start with a workshop. We start analyzing their data readiness, and then we provide the precise action how to integrate OT and IT. That is number one. Number two, how to utilize the data, how to use that data and use the prescriptions which our software provides in order to reduce the waste.
I can see that many customers, they already understand that if they want to stay ahead, they need to make use of the data. Yeah? And that's clear. But I feel that many customers still struggle with how to do it. So could you suggest some strategies or some, like, how would you approach this if this was completely new topic to you?
So then I put that customer in the bracket of data aware customers. They know data can do something for them. Now, to start the digitalization journey, as I said, we do the first workshop. We explain them what data can do, what kind of prescription we can provide. We analyze that machine parameters, and we take them in the step by step digitalization journey. In that, for example, if we speak about very specific to food and beverage industry, it's a process industry. There is a raw material which is coming from different countries in the factory, which has impact on the quality of the product. There is a process parameters like a temperature of a roasting. Roasting is one of the process for food, right? So there, those temperature of the roasting temperature impacts the quality of the. So there are multiple parameters which is impacting, and then we understand each process step, and we provide the software which provide the prescription to reduce quality waste and energy waste.
It's not only our customers who have to face, competition. It's our suppliers like yourself. Yeah? So you also probably face a lot of different competitors. So how do you stay ahead? What makes your company a suitable choice for manufacturing companies?
So we need to understand whenever we talk about analytics, it's not mathematical model. It has to combine the process knowledge of the shop floor when any prescription or prediction is given to the client. And that's where we differentiate ourselves. We make sure that the process knowledge is included in the model, and whenever we provide the prescription, it is which is close to the reality, which is like a shop floor assistant sitting next to you, continuously understanding, continuously learning those things. And whenever there is a need of changing any parameters to reduce the waste, it immediately interfere and then tells you these are the actions which is required. But these actions are not mathematical. It's not coming from direct, 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then 4 is missing. It always combine the process knowledge so that the prescriptions are close to reality. That is number one. And number two, which is transfer learning. Transfer learning is a technology when you, normally AI company, what they do, they build model for one machine. They build model for one product. But when they go to the next product or the next machine, they have to build the model again. What we use in transfer learning, we have generalized the whole domain, and that generalized domain knowledge help us using 1/3 of the data and 1/3 of the time. It can create the model which can be scaled from one machine to nth machine, one product to n product very easily.
So it's a very interesting point, because that means that, of course, you need the domain knowledge, but you also create kind of like an intimacy with the customer. You need to understand the customer very well, right? And what they do.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's where we are very closely working with Mitsubishi. If we see food and beverage department, we are working a few people, Mitsubishi, who has that domain knowledge. We as a company brings analytics and the technology on the table. Mitsubishi is bringing the domain expertise. So whenever we go to the client in a partnership, we make sure that these two parts are combined and the customer is getting the highest value possible in order to optimize their processes, improve their OE, reduce the rejections.
All right. So thanks for this. And I would like to finish with a type of question that I asked to some people today and on my previous conversations. So when you consider the future that is ahead of us, what is your number one advice to the manufacturing companies?
See, manufacturing companies, especially food and beverages, we need to understand that the government regulations are very, very stringent. Second problem is retiring experts. The people who have been working and in the shop floor for 20, 30, 40 years, they are retiring. New generation is not willing to take up the job into manufacturing. They want to go into RT, IT, bank. So there is a gap which is created. The knowledge which is gone, and the new people are not taking. So gap is created. So this kind of problem is increasing, and for the industry, which it is very important to take the digitalization in their processes. And there are two steps to do that. Number one, they need to make the factory data ready. And there most of the companies I have seen, in the exhibition itself, there are many companies who have started collecting the data. They don't know what to do with the data, but they have started collecting the data. And number two, when the data is enough, is working on an analytics part, how to make the shop floor digitalized in order to have a better yield, better OE, reduce rejections, reduce energy. So that's a journey. Data readiness and analytics phase. This is my advice to the manufacturing industry, which will enable them for the future in terms of retaining knowledge from the retiring experts. At the same time, the stringent government regulations that can be also accommodated, and then that can be monitored very well in the digitalized form, rather than having in an analog form or a pen and paper.
All right. You answer all my questions. Thanks a lot for being here, and talk to you later.